everybody. Welcome to the Sunday Brunchstream. I'm Ramblin Deano, as I'm sure you know. Hey, we're in my second week of trying to help out the folks down in Austin who may be suffering due to the water and power outages there. A lot of damage to homes and a lot of, folks that aren't as financially fortunate that can't afford all these fixes and stuff. So last week we did pretty good. A little over $200 that I forwarded to. I kicked it up to $250 and forwarded that to Austin Mutual Aid, who numerous friends of mine in the Austin area recommended as a good organization to direct these funds to. Last week I had a Venmo address for them. Turns out the best way to donate to them is through their GoFundMe page, which so I have that up there. I'm looking at myself backwards, and I always get that wrong. I also put it in the comments here, and it's in the description of the YouTube video. So hopefully that makes it easier for everyone to do. But as always, you're welcome to just funnel it through me. I'm not going to deduct any of the fees that PayPal charges me. If you donate $20 is gonna go to Austin Mutual Aid. So the week kind of got away from me, and I decided that it's been a while since I've done a show where I played my songs. So I was talking to. Man, Tara's being harsh this morning. Boring, huh? All right. I'm not sure what that means. But good morning, everyone. Anyway, I'm going to play some things of mine. Start out with a Dollar Store tune. The title track off of our second album, Money Music. Music all night long. Play that money music all night long. If you got a guitar, you might sell it right now. Learn to play the money, make it square. All night long. Play that money music all night long. If the money is good, it can do no wrong. Learn to play the money, make it square. Play that money stick, folks. Oh, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. I thought I'd like to share some of my thoughts on Bloody Marys, which I've shared on the Book of Face, but not so much here. People overcomplicate the Bloody Mary. It doesn't need to have a zillion ingredients in it. So basically, I prefer a Sacramento brand tomato juice. That is the preferred brand. It's a little not as thick as V8 is, and it's just a matter of some Tabasco, some Worcestershire, of course, a squeeze of lemon, maybe a shake or two of celery salt or a celery stick, and the vodka, of course. And that's it. Please don't hang a chicken on my Bloody Mary or a hamburger. I mean, I need all the room in that glass for the drink. So there you have it. Follow me for more recipes. All right, here's a Waco Brothers song from the Waco World album. I was thinking about when I wrote this song and what the influence was, and this is definitely a phase where I was listening to a lot of Jimmy Dale Gilmore, Flatlanders, stuff like that. And Jimmy Dale has this sort of cosmic, philosophic approach to writing lyrics, and this was a stab at something like that. It's called Train Back in Time. Please don't cry, little girl. This train goes back in time. Please don't cry, little girl. This train goes back in time. Returning to the station, returning there tonight. Go away from me, mister. Save your cheer for someone else. Yeah, go away from me, mister. Save your cheer for someone else. Tomorrow's lost forever, like some long forgotten wealth. it's hard to believe you've been showing all the signs. Although it's hard to believe you've been showing all the signs. Returning to the station, this train goes back in time. Turning to the station, this train goes back in time. Train back in time. Trish, you've heard that tune before if you own a copy of Waco World. You just don't remember it. So there's a brand of tuner that I'm using right now called Snark, and this is the Super Snark tuner. I'm getting my guitar tuned for maximum snark. But this particular one that I've purchased, I'm not a big fan of. It doesn't seem to work all that well. So forgive me if I keep having to retune here. But okay, I'm going to play a series of songs from my latest album of new material. That album's called Kill the Truth. I recorded it at the home studio of a wonderful songwriter here in Milwaukee named John Seeger. Be sure and check out John's stuff online. He's a terrific writer and singer and performer. This is called Cruel and Beautiful World. There's nothing resembling melody in the sound of the boots that march up my street. The dog is afraid of a storm coming in, darkness she can't see. I know how she feels. Today's like a joke that I've already heard. We laugh at the cruel and beautiful world. There's nothing resembling poetry. The loudmouth at the bar has the mic, so it seems. Came down with a sickness in a feverish sleep. It's getting harder to dream that the pendulum swings. So buy me a shot and I'll sing like a bird. Song about the cruel and beautiful world. If I ask you to dance, will you give it a whirl? Dance drunk through the cruel and beautiful world. Well, cruel and beautiful world. more positivity. But I did say it's beautiful. That's pretty good for me. All right. This one's called End of Tour Party. And so, you know, it is a tradition when you're in a touring band that after the last gig, you have a big kind of piss up in the motel room that you're staying in, and you know, close off the tour right. Waco Brothers usually go on just grueling 2 or 3 date tours, so we get to that end of tour party pretty quickly. But this has more to do with the country's state of affairs than Waco Brothers touring. End of tour party. Well, the earth's disappearing from under my feet, and the sun is setting on my every belief might be a good thing. Yeah, that's alright. Someone's idea of a hero, immortalized in stone, now stares up at the sky from the riverbed below. It got me thinking, yeah, that's alright. And nothing is ever gonna be the same. No, nothing is ever gonna be the same. Trying to get back on the wagon, keep pulling on the weeds, but the pace is exponential, at least it seems that way to me, but that's just nature. More than alright. Since the closing night party, the end of the last tour, it don't take much to convince me there's no going back to before. Yeah, I'm worried. Yeah, but that's alright. And nothing is ever gonna be the same. No, nothing is ever gonna be the same. No, nothing is ever gonna be the same. Yeah, it's a sort of vibe I was attempting to conjure up there is just, you know, with what we've gone through with the pandemic and Trump and all this stuff, you know, you read a whole lot of editorial comment about how nothing's ever going to be the same after this, and it's probably true, you know. I mean, people said the same thing after 9/11. America will never be the same after this, and in some senses, that's true. I wish we learned a little bit more along the way, but all right, here's one that I recorded with my fabulous friends, the Enablers, Jeff and Tammany on mandolin and fiddle, respectively. And this is called Something New. The chorus of this inspired by a woman that I used to work with at the big liquor store in Chicago, Sam's, and the place was always sort of messed up from an administrative standpoint, but had kind of glory years where we were all allowed to do our thing, and we did really great things with it in our various wine departments there. But I asked my friend Jenny one time, what would you do if you had control of this place? What would you do to fix it? And she said, I'd burn it down and start over. So this is something new, and the line is, why don't we burn it to the ground and try to come up with something new? All right. I'm just a guitar player, and the day I work on cars, I see my next door neighbors, they might as well be from Mars. No sympathy for mother, no sympathy for dad, no sympathy for baby working on a concrete pad. Well, sometimes I think that there's nothing left to do. Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Well, I've been hitting the bottle lately, can't get to sleep at night. This slow drip of bad news got me twisted up inside. Their songs are propaganda, bad ideas and sad cliches. Is that all it takes to be a country these days? Well, sometimes I think that there's nothing left to do. Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Woo-hoo! Well, go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Top-rated, gold-plated, living like the president. Hey, I'm a part-time bartender. On the weekends, I play guitar. I drive around like some kind of clown, try to sing about who we are. Well, sometimes I think that there's nothing left to do. Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Well, sometimes I think that there's nothing left to do. Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Why don't we burn it to the ground, try to come up with something new? Woo-hoo! There you have it. Somewhat autobiographical there, I will admit. Characters in this song are fictitious. Any resemblance is purely coincidental. All right. Next up, another one off Kill the Truth. This was originally written, just with the idea that certain awful people like Roger Stone in particular will not be remembered as they think they will, as this huge influence on the way our country went and the way our culture went. It's called a footnote, perhaps, because I'm hoping that people like that are remembered as a footnote. And as I was rehearsing it for the show today, it occurred to me that it's applicable to Rush Limbaugh as well. Footnote, perhaps. It's more than a small comfort to know that the cruel old men who never seem to pay have never known any kind of joy beyond the momentary thrill of the power play. Every sinister plot, every tug on the strings will disintegrate with your diseased old brain. Every cleverly bitter turn of a phrase, not etched in stone, a footnote perhaps. Though only time can fade the stain, your contribution to a world gone mad. There is some justice, 'cause somewhere deep down there's a terror in being such a sad little man. Every sinister plot, every tug on the strings will disintegrate with your diseased old brain. Every cleverly bitter turn of a phrase, not etched in stone, a footnote perhaps. A footnote, perhaps. My little bit of revenge. One more from Kill the Truth. If you're liking these songs that I'm playing from that record, well, maybe pull that digital file out for yourself and listen to the acoustic original recordings of it. This is called Putting on a Show, and this was written when the George Floyd demonstrations were going on in earnest. And it got me thinking when I was rehearsing this one about how different January 6th was than those events, but how there's still this element of putting on a show. There's still this element of kind of causing havoc for whatever media and political gain you can garner from it. Putting on a show. Well, the streets are really swinging. It's a thrilling place to be. Though I just watch it from my room, I have it on good authority. My eyes are glued, each mother subdued by the gas and the body blows. What's the motivation? Putting on a show. We're just putting on a show. It's there for anyone to see, freshly framed in an old field. The ultimate in polling is down, sending the clowns, so the heartland clearly knows. Whatever gets the ratings, we're just putting on a show. Putting on a show. Yeah, the streets are really swinging. It's quite a sight to see. The message gets gobbled up by the master of reality. Why not grab a Big Mac to watch the attack, then head out to the polls? New this fall, Law and Order, we're just putting on a show. Putting on a show. Putting on a show. That's what I'm doing here. I'm putting on a show. In the Random Thoughts department, I watched the movie The Italian Job last night, the original from 1969 with Michael Caine. And if I were to review that movie, it seems like a really long, fairly silly setup to a half an hour, 45-minute long car chase. Now, I will say that it's a pretty entertaining car chase, and made even more entertaining by Quincy Jones's kind of bizarre soundtrack music to it. So I haven't seen the remake of it, and I wonder if it's as done as tongue-in-cheek and humorous as the original is. The scenes of Noel Coward as the jailed head gangster presiding over this banquet within the prison that he basically controls. That's pretty fantastic. So there's some elements that I really liked about it, but I would call it spotty in certain ways. But anyway, that's it for my original music. And I've reached the point in the show where I'm going to do the this chronology I've been doing of George Jones singles. And so the next one is Ragged But Right. And I'm Ragged But I'm Right. It gets listed title-wise in different ways. On a previous show when I've performed this song, I mistakenly thought that George Jones wrote it, possibly because on Star Day releases of the song, they claim that George wrote it. They give him credit for it, but it goes way back, and I think it was Riley Puckett that did the most famous early version of it, and so. Not sure. Publishing sometimes is the wild, wild west. People just claim rights for things. The Carter family made a whole career out of A.P. Carter registering copyrights for songs that were really traditionals, or certainly not songs that he wrote. But clever guy, I guess. Ragged But Right. George does a nice version of it. I could live without the sort of old westy honky tonk piano in the original version of it, but it's his His vocal is great, classic early George, not as warm and rubbery as it became earlier, but fantastic. Ragged but right. Let's see how this goes. Well, I've come here to tell you folks I'm ragged, but I'm right. I'm a tramp and a rounder. I stay out late at night. A porterhouse steak 3 times a day for my board. That's more than any loafer in this town can afford. Well, a big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. A little baby boy to play around daddy's feet. I'm a rambler, I'm a gambler, and I lead every life. I tell you folks that I'm ragged, but I'm right. I knew I'd settle down and build a little love nest right here in my hometown. Now I got the family and one that I'm proud of. I know that I'll be happy, 'cause they're the ones I love. A big electric fan to keep me cool while I sleep. A little baby boy to play around daddy's feet. I'm a rambler, a gambler, and I lead every life. I tell you folks, well, I'm ragged, but I'm right. Ragged but right, folks. Thank you so much for joining me. And as I'm supposed to say, like all the other people who do this do, please click the like button and subscribe. But more importantly, send some money here, or send it here and I'll send it there. Your choice. I'm hoping that maybe I'll do this for 4 weeks total, and maybe between what I collect here and what people donate on their own, we'll get to about $1,000, which would be pretty cool. Hopefully those folks down in Austin are getting the assistance they need, and I wish them the best. And I will see you right back here next week at this time. And as always, stay safe, stay sane, stay healthy, stay home if you can, stay puff, stay cool. I thank you again for joining me here, and I love you all, and I will see you next week.